I'm asking whether this pattern of generations can be broken, and why the brain has accepted that pattern in spite of all the conflict, misery, and goes on in the same way. And is it possible to break that pattern? That's what I'm really asking.
Yes, I'm saying the same thing in a different way. If an order has served its purpose, can it be put aside because it is no longer...
But apparently it can't.
It's no longer useful or adequate.
But apparently it can't. Psychologically, we're talking, it can't. It doesn't. Take an ordinary human being like any of us, it goes on. Repeating fears, sorrow, misery, all that it's part of its daily meal. And Dr. Boma asks, why does it go on? Why doesn't it break through? And we say, is it so heavily conditioned that it cannot see its way out of it? Or it may be merely constant repetition. So the brain has become dull.
So the momentum of repetition is there. Yes. And you can't get out of
that
it.
moment of repetition makes the mind sluggish, mechanical. And in that mechanical sluggishness, it says that it takes refuge and says, leave, it's all right, I can go on. That's what most human beings do.
Well, that's part of the disorder. I mean, that to think that way is a manifestation of disorder.
Of course.
Do you connect order with intelligence, or is order something that exists on its own? Any kind of intelligence?
Well, in which case? I mean, order certainly intelligence involves order, right? Intelligence requires the perception of order in an orderly way, without contradiction. Now, but I think that if we were in the terms we were discussing before, that we ourselves don't create this. We don't impose this order, but rather it's natural.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, let's come back. I'm the ordinary man. I see that I'm caught with my whole way of living and my thinking and my attitudes and so on, beliefs, is the result of enormous length of time. Time is, as we went into the other day, is my whole existence. In the past, which cannot be changed, I take refuge. Right?
Yes. Well, I think that if we were to talk with the ordinary man, the first thing he would feel is he doesn't really understand time. You see that, that time is something that happens to him.
Yes, but we went into that.
Yeah.
I am saying, I'm an ordinary man, and I see, after talking over with you, I see that my whole existence is based on time. Now, which is time is the past, and in that I take the brain takes refuge.
Well, what does that mean? How does it take refuge?
Because the past cannot be changed.
Yes, we agree, but then people also think of the future. You see, it's common to think the future can change. Say the communists have said, give up the past, we're going to
but
change.
I can't give up the past. I mean, we think we can give up the past.
Yeah, so that's the second point, that even those who try to give up the past, those who don't want to take refuge in the past still can't give it up.
Can't give, that's just my point.
So it seems whichever way you do it, you're stuck, right?
Yeah. So, next step is, why does the brain accept this way of living, and why doesn't it break it down? Right? Is it laziness? Is it in breaking it down, it has no hope?
Yes, well, that still is the same question.
Of course, it is the same question.
Going in from past to future.
Yeah. So what is it to do? I think this is applicable to most people, isn't it? So what is it? What is one?
Well, you see,
what is there to be done?
We haven't understood why it does this, so it's not clear what to say. You see that say this behavior is disorderly, irrational, and so on. And people have said, okay, let's give up the past, but we find we can't.
We can't.
Now, so why can't we? You see that?
Why can't we give up the past? It's that. If I give up the past, I have no existence.
Well, you have to clarify that, because some people would say...
I mean, it's simple. If I give up all my remembrances, all
Yes.
my etc., I have nothing. I am nothing.
I think some people would look at it a little differently, that like the Marxists, like Marx himself said that that it is necessary to transform the conditions of human existence, and that will remove this past, you see.
But it cannot, it has not done.
Yes.
It cannot be done.
Well, that's because when he tries to transform it, he still works from the past.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Now, if you say don't depend on the past at all, then as you say, what are we going to do?
Yes, I have nothing. Is that the reason why we cannot possibly give up the past? Because my existence, my way of thinking, my life, everything is from the past. And if you say wipe that out, what have I left?
Yes, well, I think you could say that we obviously have to keep certain things from the past, like useful knowledge and
Yes,
technology.
that we're going through that.
Now you could ask, suppose we keep that part of the past and wipe out all parts of the past which are contradictory.
Which are all psychological, contradictory and so on.
Yes.
What is left? Just going to the office? There's nothing left. Is that the reason why we cannot give it up?
Well, it's still a contradiction in that, because if you say what's left, you're still asking for the past. You see
of course.
But I mean, are you saying simply that when people say they're giving up the past, they just simply they're not doing it, because they're merely turning it into another question which avoids the issue?
Because my whole being is the past.
Yes, well,
modified, changed, and so on, but it has its roots in the past.
Yes. Now, if you told somebody, okay, give all that up, but in the future you will have something quite different, a lot better, then you might get, people would be attracted, right?
But the better is still from the past.
Well, if you say that, but see, perhaps it could even be open and creative. You see, the people want to be assured that at least something
that is just
going to be there.
There is nothing. We want to be assured, I want to be assured, as a common man, or as a human being, something to which I can cling to, and that can hold on.
Or look for, or reach
look
for.
Forward, reach. Right. Yes, reach.
I mean, I feel not that they're clinging to the past, but they're reaching for something.
Yes.
That's the common feeling.
If I reach something, it is still
the past.
The past.
Yes, though that's often not obvious, because people say it's a big new revolutionary situation. But it has its roots in the past.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
past is disorder.
As long as I have my roots in the past, there cannot be order.
Because the past is pervaded with
Yes,
disorder.
disorder. And is my mind, my brain willing to see that there is absolutely nothing? If I give up the past, you follow, sir?
Yes, and you say there's nothing to reach for. And
Nothing. I mean, there's
Yes.
no movement.
Yes. Well,
Therefore, I cannot possibly give up the past. So, people dangle in front of me a carrot. And I'm like a silly person, I follow it. So if I have no carrots, nothing as a reward or punishment, how is this past to be dissolved? Because otherwise time is still, I'm still living in the field of time. And therefore it's still man-made. So what shall I do? Am I willing to face absolute emptiness? Right, sir?
yeah, well, what will you tell somebody who's not willing? He feels unable
I'm
to.
not bothered.
What do you mean?
I mean, if somebody says, I'm sorry, I can't do all this nonsense, you say, well, carry on. But I'm willing to let my past go completely. This is, which means there is no effort, no reward, no punishment, no carrot, nothing. And the brain is willing to face this extraordinary state, totally new to it, of being, of existing in a state of nothingness. That is appallingly frightening.